and just making it about this one game. Even there, we had a lot of opportunities to go out there and win a game, and just didn't quite get it done. I'm really appreciative of these seniors, what they've given our program, what they've given me. I mean, it's obviously got to be fuel for the young guys. Got to remember this feeling, and their leadership starts now. So, a tough result against a really good team.
Greg, you mentioned a couple moments kind of got away from you. Just if you could kind of expand on that.
Obviously the false starts. The one big play in the second quarter was the miscommunication, I think, between Jamori and Jaden. And, at the end of the game, it didn't look like a personal foul to me. And I got to see what the tape says. So I'm going to reserve right. I think Matt's probably the best white hat in the league, but I think it's a BS call at the wrong time. I do, and I got to see it. So in live and in color, I don't quite know if it warranted that, but I got to see what it says.
You kind of shared a moment with Cam and getting guys like that out to the field. Just kind of wondering what those kind of moments are like for you.
Yeah. I know that stuff's personal, but when you invest in people, you just want it so bad for them. Not for you, but for them and for their work and what they've done. And like I said, what they've given our program, I think they've carved a future, and I'm disappointed for them that we couldn't deliver for them. Not just this game, but, as a whole, right? This shouldn't be our last game. So just told them I love them, that I'm here for them whenever they're needed, and I'm proud of them.
Theo, Matthew, Jacob, news recently that the Apple Cup isn't continuing at least for a few more years. Can you speak to the nature of this game and if you think it's appropriate for it to continue within the same conference?
It's going to be different being on a conference game. I think we all know that. I talked about all week how it's bittersweet, playing it in September, not being the last game of the season. It's a 40-minute flight over here. Did you see that stadium tonight? See the passion of it? I've said it for the last 5 months. It's a shame that we just washed all that out, right? But I do think the game should continue. It's the 115th playing. But will it ever be the same? We'll see. But I know it means something to everybody. Everybody. And had an opportunity to get it tonight.
Obviously, UW has one of the top passing games in the whole country, and you guys shut them down for large portions of this game. Can you talk about the kind of the defensive plan you had, and I guess how do you think it worked?
I think for the most part, there's going to be a lot of positives that come out of it. Like last year, we knew there's going to be 15 to 18 times they're going to go down the field plus 25 yards, and we had to win probably 75% of those to really stay in the game. So I'd have to look back to see that, but I thought we did a really good job. We had some hands-on bowls. We made some picks, kept it in front of us, didn't panic on a 10-yard out route. Right? Don't panic, because I think design-wise they do as good of a job in the country of designing plays and shots to get to the playmakers, right? And if you can rattle, 9 a little bit, you got a shot. I think we got him off his spot a couple times, and then accuracy goes down, but once again, they made the plays when they needed to, and that's kind of been the story of their season.
Jake, what was your favorite part of the season?
It's hard to do big picture stuff right now. I get to see the fight of the team, even though it was hard, even though it was a terrible win streak in there, even though we felt like at times we didn't play the way we're capable of playing. I just thought the resolve of the team, staying the course and having energy was always there. And that just speaks to the men and the character and how much they love each other and love ball.
AJ?
Jake, is there merit to you guys keeping this close, or is it a loss?
Yeah, there's no solace in losing. It isn't. Those guys know that. And that's why the locker room's a hard place right now, because we left it all out there and we had a opportunity. I don't take losing as a positive thing.
Julian?
Jake, what is it meant to lead this group, this program? Obviously, the ebbs and flows of the season, up and downs of the season, but everything off the field since pretty much training camp that you guys have been kind of dealing with.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting time for the program. So what is it meant to you?
It was 2 years ago I sat in this seat, right? after a huge win and got an opportunity to lead a program that I'm still really honored to lead. And we've been through a lot of things in 4 years. We're still just beginning. I keep saying that. And that's why I said that the young guys' leadership starts now, because there's a lot of things going on that I don't want to get into, like outside noise and all kinds of things. So we have the opportunity to bring back 90% of our offense, right? We got an opportunity to bring back a lot of guys on defense and be really successful and build something, right? So that's what we're trying to do, building, and proud to lead the program, proud to be here at Washington State, represent Cougs everywhere, and I know they're proud of us, and, you know, just tough one. This is a tough one.
Coach, when you got the ball back with about 5 minutes left, did it feel like you were going to go down and win that game?
Yeah, Miami just a Cal. I never believed we weren't going to win the game. I never stopped believing that. Like, I don't. I trust our team and our offense, and just kind of got ourselves behind the sticks there because it was a moment when we had to be aggressive. And, you know, I even take responsibility. The yard line was 30 for Dean. I put him out there when it was a 32. I got to stay aggressive there. That's on me. That's not on Dean, right? So there's those moments, too, as a head coach that I got to be better, and that was an exact one right there.
Time for a few more. Jamie?
Coach, talk about Jamori a little bit. It seemed like he played just out of his mind. I mean, he's going up against maybe the best receiver in the country, and he had a couple big pass breakups, and seemed to, for the most, with the exception of the one kind of miscommunication, kind of kept him in check to a degree.
Yeah, I think Jamori is just the story of what we talk about all the time. Like, you got to stay the course. You might not get what you want early, but what are you bringing every day, and when are you going to be ready when you get that opportunity? And we felt like he gave us the best shot to be the second corner on deep balls. He just played it the best. So he ended up getting a lot of the run today. And like I said, that's nothing against Steve, because Steve's going to bounce back and he's doing great things here, right? But he just gave us an opportunity and has hands on one late that he'd probably love to catch.
Gian?
You talked about the passion of these fans earlier and just how hostile of environment it was, but regardless, I mean, this team really fought. How would you describe the heart that they played with tonight?
Yeah, I will say this. I feel like we've, besides maybe one fourth quarter of this season, we played with heart and passion. Like, so I knew it would show up. I knew it was going to be something that we could hang our hat on. You knew coming into this game, you know, you didn't have to motivate them because they understood the moment of what it was, and they were ready to go, you know, hang it and leave it all out there. And I thought that's what we did. I don't, you know, like I said, it's hard to look back at in a tight football game. Those margins are so thin. But our guys played with heart and energy, and I feel like you could feel that.
Any final questions for Coach?
Can you talk a little bit about Cameron Ward, what he did tonight? I think passed for over 300 yards, and it looked like he outplayed Heisman contenders a lot of the game. What were your thoughts?
Cam gives us a shot every chance he catches the ball, right? Every time he's at quarterback, we got a shot to make a play, and, you know, we got to protect him better. I think there's no secret around that. Got to stay ahead of the chains, but I thought he was playmaking. He was sharp. He was on time. He delivered some good deep balls. He made some necessary plays when we needed it. Got us into some good runs. I thought the second half, running the ball, obviously gave us an opportunity to be successful, and he's been great all season. And I don't think people talk enough about Cam and his future and, like, what he's capable of doing. This dude is a high-level NFL quarterback, right? And there's a lot of things he can still get better. He's still 21 years old. So I just proud of him. He's an ultimate competitor. He's not satisfied with the results of what he feels he can do better as we've gone throughout the season. He's always owned that. And, you know, like I said, he's always given us a chance to win. And that's all I can ask for out of that position.
How much do you think he was able to kind of play like himself? I mean, taking 5 sacks today with some pressure. How much do you feel like he was able to be himself tonight?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to sit in the pocket there a little bit, but, you know, that's one of the strengths of, you know, Washington's defense. I mean, they have good edge rushers, and, you know, like I said, we got to find ways to do some max protection, just get them some time and some different looks and that type of stuff. But I thought there were times, and even when they didn't get home the push, you know, he wasn't able to just deliver a ball on time to some open receivers that I thought our receivers did a good job of getting open and making some plays. You know, so I thought it was some good, some bad.
Final question, Jamie?
You know, obviously you guys take this loss and you have to kind of, find the 24-hour rule I know we've talked about before. Where do things go Monday? Where do you kind of start? Is it all just focus on roster retention and so on?
And when you don't get what you want, I don't know if there's ever any 24-hour rule on this one. Like, we got to take this one all the way into the offseason. Remember this feeling of, falling short. I think the big picture stuff does start on Monday. Roster retention is number one because I know what the future can be. I know what it can be, right? But the problem is, right, there's a lot of things in college football that, don't sit well with me, and those things are working behind the scenes already. So we're going to work hard to do everything we can to keep this group together because I see a clear vision of what we can be. I do. And I think that future can be really bright, and, we'll address a lot more of those things next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, I mean it. Thanks, everybody, for a great season. Thank you, guys, for all you do.
Get it, I mean it. Did you get it, I mean it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. We gotta redo it then.
What did I say though? If he wanted to say something, he would say something. When it comes to that.
What was the question that led him there? I don't even think it had
I don't know,
anything to
but
do
I and this has happened in the past too. When he wants to say something, come back. He will
Oh,
find a
yeah.
way.
with- Oh, yeah.
So, I think that's what tells you. call you make, 13:45 to go on the 25-yard line. Not.
It's not one that the officials' boss is gonna give them a hard time.
No. The problem is, I think that the biggest gripe is if it's the other way around, is that getting called? I mean, on Cam's pick, the first pick, the official reaches for the flag and then tucks it. On what would have been roughing the passer. I think that was the problem.
I felt like I saw a lot of first today from the officials.
Hmm?
I mean, like, wrong, but it did not even really occur to me that we could get a
Grounded? Yeah.
fought out free play.
Because I think, who on earth, why would you throw it away? I think that's what was.
Well, not these offsides play out, and
Yeah.
that's weird. I can see why agents don't get a offensive penalty in that situation, but it does kind of create this incentive where should the defense just pre-snap charge the ground pass and force a grounding and let them up
Yeah.
another one.
Questions for quarterback Cameron Ward? Go ahead, Jamie.
Cam, just kind of takeaways. Obviously, you guys fought hard at the end, but just seemed like maybe a play or two short on offense. What did you kind of see that maybe just kept you guys a little bit away from getting to that win?
We just shot ourselves in the foot all night, pretty much. Obviously, with the penalties, the 2 interceptions that I had, that obviously killed this. But we moved the ball great against the number 4 team in the country. So I don't take it for granted. But at the end of the day, we just can't have those mistakes versus them.
For you guys as an offense, you get that kind of that late touchdown. You have the 2 chances to kind of get in the field goal range. On those, what did it kind of feel like went wrong that kept you from getting down to in the 20 to 25 and setting Dean up, or even getting into the end zone?
Really just not executing. That was the biggest thing, especially on the 3rd down. I should have took off and ran instead of trying to throw it to Link. But you live for those moments right there, but at the end of the day, you got to execute it. So, I know if you put me and Link in that situation again, we would execute that next time, but we just got to make smarter decisions down in clutch time.
There's a video of, as you guys are walking off, you and Coach Dickert sharing a moment, without going into detail of what was said, 'cause that's obviously between you guys. What does that relationship kind of mean to you, and what did that maybe mean to you to have your head coach kind of waiting there for you to talk to you and embrace you like that?
It means a lot. He told me that he appreciated me. He's the first Power 5 head coach that I played for, so he means a lot in my life. He has a lot in my heart. So, he took a chance on me when a lot of coaches did it. So, I'll forever owe that to him. And it's just been a blessing to be around the seniors here, RJ, BJ. They embody what a cool gets. They took me in under their wing, and it's just been an awesome time for everybody in this team. And I couldn't be more grateful to share, everything that we went through this year, last year, summer workouts, just doing random stuff in Pullman, with the receiving group, the running backs, the O-line, just having fun. So, you live for moments, not, opportunities, stuff like that. So, I love those guys love me, and I can't wait to get to it.
Did Kyle and Josh ever surprise you with these catches after 12 weeks, or are these just kind of normal to you?
Nah, they made better catches in spring ball when we first got them. So, I know all I got to do is put the ball in play for those guys, and they're going to go up and get it. So, I'm proud of those guys. Couldn't tell you what they went through personally, physically this whole year. But, I'm proud of those guys right there.
What did you make of your outing just kind of overall tonight?
My outing
Yeah.
wasn't good enough to win. Played the number 4 team in the country, can't have 2 interceptions. So, that's it.
Cam, in addition to your moment with Jake at the end, I mean, you guys stayed on the field, kind of lingered on the field after the game for a while. I guess what's going through your head at that moment, and I mean, just what was that like, being there after a tough loss like that?
You really just cherish the moments that you have with guys. Coach Dickert, what he means to me in the program, to the guys in the locker room. To see him greeting every player coming off the field knows how much he truly cares for us, not even about football, just as a person. He's built me into, a better man than what I was last year when I first got here. So, I'm forever grateful for it. But it was a tough loss for sure, especially for the seniors to, end it the way it ended on a field goal. That'll forever be with them. It'll forever be with me. But, I'm blessed. We were blessed to fight with the number 4 team in the country. But, UW, they're not an easy team to beat. We almost had them, but almost isn't good enough.
Anything else for Cam?
Kyle Williams probably made a catch of the year. Just unbelievable play from him. And how would you describe your relationship with the wide receivers this year and how they've grown, specifically Kyle Williams, Josh Kelly, Lincoln, etc.?
That was the main focus for me going into the summer and the offseason since last year, is getting connected with those guys because we have to be on the same page at all points. From Kyle having to drop on that slant, he told me just throw it back to him and I will. I feel like he's one of the best receivers in press coverage, whether it's a slant, a goal ball, a dig. It doesn't really matter. And with Josh, Josh is just a smooth operator. He can win at the top of the route. He can win versus press. He's good at stop routes. So those two guys, Kyle, they're for sure deep threats. But I couldn't be more happy for them. Everything that's coming their way, present wise, future wise, they deserve every bit of it.
Last one from Julian.
Jake said that this is something that you guys are gonna hone in and it's gonna linger till this time next year. Is that kind of the same sentiment? And how do you kind of bottle that up?
Just gotta take it on the chin, keep going. To be honest, a lot of us were blessed. Myself was blessed. We made it out of the game healthy. It's not easy to make it out of football game healthy. So I give all glory to God, and I appreciate teammates, just what they've went through since when I first got here, the bond that I made with those guys, the coaching staff. In the locker room, we all just told how much we appreciated one another. I haven't been a part of a team like this. The connection that we have, the bonding that we have outside of football, we really don't care about what everyone has to say about us on the football field because we know what type of human beings that we are on that team. So, it's been a blessing for everybody for sure.
Thanks, Cam.
Appreciate it.
Questions for Edge Brennan Jackson.
Brennan, obviously, not the result you guys wanted, but can you just kind of speak to the effort the defense put in to slow that offense down to a point where, teams just have not been able to do that to them. You guys seemed like you left every last bit of energy you had on the field.
Yeah, I think Coach said it best. It was, they made one more play than us at the end of the day. I'm just so proud of my guys, the way we fought today, the energy we brought out there. To hold a high-powered offense like that to the last play of the game and leave it all to a field goal, I couldn't be more proud of the guys, and it stings. But for effort-wise, I can't be upset at that at all.
When you guys get into the locker room, obviously, you're obviously one of the leaders. What did you kind of say to the team, or did you say something to the team kind of just after the game?
I just said I'm thankful for the time I've been here, and thankful for every single man in that locker room, whether that be a teammate, a coach, a support staff, our media team. Because without those guys, this ship doesn't sink, or this ship doesn't go. So I'm just so proud of everybody. I know obviously the result's not what we wanted, but for a fight out there, I think we gave a fight.
You guys, it seemed like you and RJ especially, you really forced Penix off his spots, so maybe didn't get sacks, holding or otherwise. But what did you guys feel like you were doing to kind of get underneath their tackles and at least kind of force him out of the pocket and have to throw it away a few times?
I think the biggest thing that was our game plan was to make him uncomfortable back there, and I think throughout the game he felt our presence more and more and more, and then those passes were a little off target, off the marks. And obviously he's a great player, so it was important that we had to get him rattled. And the receivers made some great plays, but I think our DBs played a heck of a game. I think it's just a great look into the future what we have on this defense, and yeah, they're a great team that we played against, and like I said, one more play than us.
On their last fourth down play where they ran a reverse on fourth and short, what were you seeing on that play and kind of what made that effective for them?
It was a great play call. You're thinking 4th and 1, sneak. That we haven't seen that really from them at all. So, yeah, it's a tough one to swallow, and I think that just goes back to them just making one more play.
What do you think you've learned most about yourself, this season?
I'm resilient. I don't think anybody would have wanted this season the outcome it was, but I don't think there was ever a play or a game where I didn't give 110% for my guys. And, I think to this university that's how our fans are, 110% regardless of how we're doing, regardless of the circumstances. I know there's a ton of uncertainty after this year with the Pac-12 dissolving, but the Cougs know how to give a fight. And I think that was today's message, was that we're going to fight through whatever adversities come our way.
Yeah, kind of expanding on that, Brennan. I mean, I think you had a sack on one of the last plays of the game. I mean, what was just your mindset playing in a game like this, like one of last game for you? Just what you leave out there.
Just make an impact. I think that's the biggest thing, is just impact every game I'm in, and that's the whole goal, is to leave your number in the other team. Make sure when they're going back to the film, they're like, okay, how do we stop this guy in the future? How do we stop guys like that in the future? And that was a big thing for me and RJ especially, just make an impact on this game. It was going to be, whether it was going to be our final game or not, we wanted to leave an impact on this stadium and the fans in the building and the other team. And yeah, on the last one, like I said, it's a good sack, but the ball was out there, wanted to make a play, and that's one that's going to haunt me for a long time.
When you first came to WSU, did you think this school would mean as much to you as you do now to them?
I mean, I knew when I came here it was a special place, but I mean, nobody, and even myself, family-wise, would expect the impact that I've had on this school. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunities I've had to really leave my mark on this place, and I'm forever indebted to the Cougs. I'm always going to find my way back home. I'm always going to be around supporting the next generations of Cougs, and yeah, it's been an absolute blessing. I can only thank God and my family and everybody who's had a part in bringing me here for this opportunity and this journey it's been.
Brennan, it seems clear this game has special meaning to the players and to the fans. Do you think that continues next year?
I think it'll always continue. We're Washington State and they're Washington, so there's always going to be an in-state rivalry there, regardless of conferences. I think it's important to understand that there's a lot of tradition in this game, and regardless of, where conferences we're going to lie or end up in the future, where teams are going to sort out, like in-state rivalries run, college football rivalries run this business, and I think it's so important to continue to have a rivalry like this, because it's entertainment and it brings people together. Even though there's fans from from Washington, there are people tailgating with Coug fans, so this really brings everybody together, and I think it's so important to keep this tradition going.
Last one for Brennan.
Player retention is obviously going to be a huge question moving forward. You've spent a ton of time in Pullman. What would your message be to potential former Cougs on making that decision?
I think it's all about commitment. Your word is everything, and when you commit somewhere, it's a lifelong commitment. I know me and RJ made a lifelong commitment to this place, and we can't thank this place enough for what it's given us and all the opportunities that have been present themselves here. And I think when these high schoolers, these transfers, when they make that commitment, it's got to be solid. Thank you.
Brennan.
Ron Stone Jr., edge.
Last one.
Last one.
Oh, until the pros. RJ, obviously not the result you guys wanted, but it felt like the defense left everything they possibly had. Maybe one of the better performances we've seen in years, considering the opposing offense. Just what were your kind of thoughts on how you guys played and were able to really kind of slow their offense down?
Yeah, man, I thought we played really well. And I think we played complimentary football for the most part of that game, man. And obviously, like you said, it wasn't the result that we obviously wanted, but I think it's just a great thing for our team to build off and build confidence, gain confidence, understand that they have the ability to play tough opponents. But it's all the small details, and it's the game comes down to just a handful of plays, and they won the margin in those handful.
You and Brennan did a really good job kind of forcing Penix off his pop. I mean, not a ton of sacks, but what do you think you were doing against their tackles to kind of to force him to do that, make him throw the ball away, or make him just kind of make errant throws as is?
I mean, we didn't change anything just for these tackles, man. Right? We knew they were going to be good, but we knew we were also very good players as well. So we just attacked them what we usually do. I don't think there's any players that are going to make us switch our entire style of play just for them. So we just went out and did our regular things.
Just want to specifically ask about Jamori Colson. He steps into a starting role, and by all accounts, looks like he played a fantastic game considering the receiver he's matched up against. Just where have you maybe seen him grow? And I know a guy that didn't have a lot of fall camp because he was finishing his classes. But obviously, he's grown pretty tremendously to play the way he did today.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about being ready for your moment, man. And last week he was called on, and this week he was called on, and he was just ready for the moment, man. And shout out Maury, man. He played a hell of a game, and I'm really, really excited for his future and his ability for his career.
What has your mind been the last 30, 40 minutes as you kind of try to process this game this season so far?
Yeah, man. It's all over, man. It's just like a real final thing, you know. You see that scoreboard, you see what it came down to, you know. It's just there's not much you can really do about it, man. I mean, I just think about all the memories I made with this team. I love every man in that locker room. I love every coach in that locker room. I just love everyone that's been a part of me on this journey. I'm so thankful for everyone. I'm thankful for my parents, anyone that's helped me get to where I am right now. I couldn't be more thankful for.
When you kind of look back at this season, the last 3 months or so, what kind of come to mind as you kind of think about this down the road?
Yeah, just the memories made, man. You know, and we'll look back, and this won't be one of the most successful seasons that we've had at Washington State. But I mean, just as a player, as someone in that locker room, as someone just on this team, man, I've had such a great connection with the people in that locker room, man. And those are my brothers for life. You know, I love those guys. I always support those guys. And it sounds dumb, but it was the most fun I've ever had while being having so many losses, you know, like those guys, like we came to work every day and it was never woe is me. We're all just ready. And obviously a lot of those games didn't go our way, but there was never quit. There was always fight. And I just love those guys.
Can't help but notice your T-shirt. Could you tell us about the sort of nature and character of this rivalry from the player perspective? If you think that'll continue next year?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think everyone knows if you're in the state of Washington, you know the value of the Apple Cup. You know, I think when I first committed here, my first question is, why'd you commit, and are we going to win the Apple Cup? That was the second one. You know, I was like, what is the Apple Cup? You know, I'm from California. Once you get here, you just get brought into such a tradition, an intense tradition, and which is so important to everyone that's from this state. You know, and I mean, I think obviously we have a lot to look forward to for this rivalry in these games. You know, obviously those games got confirmed for whenever and wherever they are. So I'm excited for the Cougs to go out there and compete in those.
What was your perspective on the ref and the passer call there? Your coach said it was maybe a BS call. Were you surprised to see a flag come out after that?
Yeah, I mean, I sat there, and if I thought it was going to be roughing the passer, I obviously wouldn't have hit him. You know, I know the situation of the game. I pride myself in being a bit of a savvy player. That's just, I have no control over the call. You know, maybe looking back, I don't do it. Maybe looking back, if it happened again, I'd probably do it again. You know, I think that was the situation that it was in, and I didn't think it was a late hit, but obviously I'm not the one with the flag in my hand. So, yeah, I don't really know what else. I think it was a bad call, but I was also involved with it. So.
One more for Ron Stone. Ron, I know you were talking about how, the final game, you're in a Cougar uniform, but can you look back at this game and say that you left it all on the field today and the team as a whole left it all up there?
Absolutely, man. I mean, obviously, there's certain things you wish you could get back, right? There's a certain call you wish you could change, a certain catch that you wish was caught, like just there's always many things. But as far as the effort and attitude of all the men on that team, man, I couldn't ask for anyone else to be out there with us, man. Again, I've said it who knows how many times at this point. I love this team, man, and I'm glad I got to go out there and compete one last time with them.
Thanks, Ron.
Yep.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Appreciate it.
Last one will be wide receiver Lincoln Victor. Yeah, go ahead.
Lincoln, just kind of immediate thoughts. Obviously, you guys played your tails off, but just seemed to come one play short in the loss.
Yeah, man, it's always tough losing like that when it comes down to the wire. But I couldn't be more proud of my teammates, this coaching staff, not only for the long journey that we've had this season. It hasn't gone our way, but we've always done a great job of responding. And, just going to miss the guys that, were in the foxhole with me. Obviously you wish you could get back some plays, you wish you could get back some calls, but at the end of the day, they were the better team than us tonight. And that's a tough pill to swallow, but I just can't thank my boys enough, man, just for the fight. Things weren't looking right 6 weeks ago, and we just found a way to just keep striving to get better. And I think we played our best out there tonight, and just came up short.
You, as you're coming off, it looks like you and Coach Dickert kind of shared an embrace in a moment. Without getting into detail, but what you said, what has he kind of meant to your journey here?
Most definitely, man. Coach Dickert's been a man of his word. Obviously, when I got here, I was a walk-on. He was the first head coach to put me on scholarship, and obviously, it's hard to sit here and criticize Coach Dickert. Obviously, and you haven't been in his shoes, but I think he's done a great job of just being there as not only as a coach, but knowing when to take the coaching hat off and be there as a man as well. Like I said, he's a man of his word. He's done a great job of keeping this team together. There's the future is bright, not only at Wazoo, but love Coach Dickert with all of my heart, man. I can't thank him enough for believing in me, giving me a shot when no one else did, and I wouldn't want to be around any head coach ever in college football. So. Just super thankful for him. It's hard to be in his shoes, man, and to be around 18 to 23-year-old men and try to develop them as well as on the field, but most importantly as well as the man off the field outside of the helmet. So I just commend him for not only his actions, but always following through.
The touchdown catch to tie it up, can you just walk kind of through that play and just the emotion of walking into the end zone and kind of seeing the crowd and whatnot?
Yeah, no, we practice that play every day. We knew we were going to get the look that we wanted to get, and when I motioned over, saw the coverage spinning, so I knew the ball was going to end up in my hands. I actually had a rough point before that drive. I dropped the ball that I usually make that routine catch, and my boys had my back and told me, just next play mentality. And I think over the course of my career, I've always done a great job of responding, no matter what the circumstance was. So really, to tie it up, man, it was just a great feeling, not only to get in the end zone, but couldn't do it with the 10 other people on the field. And just super thankful for that moment. Super thankful for that, that opportunity, and we made the most out of it.
Kim has always been pretty hard on himself this season. Do you feel like he's kind of able to be himself tonight as far as having time to throw, or what was your read?
Yeah, no, Cam is, he's a hard worker. When you commit yourself to this lifestyle and this sport, man, it comes with so much sacrifice, and that's why it's so hard on us as players when you don't get the results that you want. And I think, it's good to be hard on yourselves because you expect so much more out of yourself. And when things don't go your way, you just got to get back to the drawing board, and you got to put your head down and work a lot more harder. So when those moments come, you can capitalize on those. But Cam did a great job of taking care of the ball. It was a whole team effort. We knew that our offense was going to be the one that, if we kept scoring, we were going to be in this game. Defense played lights out. We just came down to a few plays that we didn't make, and you wish you had those back. But like I said, man, thankful for number one and his journey and his process, and he's a long way from being done. So.
You talked about sort of the lifestyle and the grind of just how hard this sport is, and you grew up playing it. Have you ever given it thought that Monday morning you're not going to have to go out?
Yeah, man, it's a tough thing. It's a bittersweet moment, obviously, knowing that everything was on the line for this game to get one more. But I left it all out there on the field, and you can't ask for much more, not only for my teammates but for myself as well. I told myself going into this game, leave nothing in the tank, regardless of how my body was feeling. Sacrifice my body for the betterment of the team, and I felt like I did a good job of that. Obviously, it came down to a few plays, and you wish you had those back. But, yeah, man, it's definitely set in. It's going to be tough, obviously. I'm going to take some time for myself and just think back on the journey and the process, and be thankful for not only the relationships that I made here at WSU, but all the teammates and all the coaches that have came through and had a hand and poured into me. And you just can't be more thankful, not only for being healthy, but making it through a season. You know, there's so many ebbs and flows through a whole season and through a whole journey of this lifestyle, man. And you got to be grateful and take that with a grain of salt.
Your coach said something to the effect of there's no solace in losing as far as like moral victories after a game like this, but I guess looking at the fact that you guys outplayed UW for such a long stretch of the game and it came down to the final play against the number 4 team, do you hold your head a little bit higher, or is there any kind of, I guess, moral victory feeling at all just about what you guys managed to accomplish?
Yeah, obviously it's like I said, it's bittersweet. You know, it came down to a few plays, and like I said, they were the better team tonight. But there's no ifs, ands, in betweens between winning and losing. So, like I said, they were the better team tonight. Obviously, we played, you know, up to our standard, but we just didn't get the job done, and that's gonna set in stone for a lot of these seniors. But there's so much growth that can be made from not only this loss. Like I said, man, the young guys, man. Yeah, shout out to them, man. They're the ones that keep us going, keep the seniors held up high, and just tell them, you know, remember this feeling. You know, you're never gonna get this moment back, but the next time you step in front of this team, you know, you better get it done. So there's obviously opportunity for growth when you lose like this, but you know, you're just super thankful for not only this moment, but just being in this environment, being in having this experience. Just super thankful for my teammates.
We have time for 2 more, if any. All right.
Mahalo, guys. Appreciate you guys.